my aunt. Ladies and gentlemen, what anything means. Wait a minute, something's happening. Wait!
Circumstances beyond our control, we are unable to continue the broadcast.
Oh, Russell Westbrook get him a lot. Bricks.
Oh, no.
Don't put down there.
No,
scoring triple-double.
Yeah.
All right, so let me preface this video by saying I understand, I get it, I know, I acknowledge that Jeremy Sochan can come across as, lack of a better word or words, arrogant, annoying, and a little bit trolly. And while I understand that this personality can turn a lot of fans off, and I mean a lot, I will have to admit that I find his antics quite charming in a way. But forget all of that. Who cares how I or any of us feel? What's important, and I think it's often overlooked, is that this archetype of a player, this take no nonsense and willing to get under your skin by any means necessary, is crucial. It is a crucial piece to any championship team in any dynasty. Now, apart from his polarizing personality, I like to first start with his playstyle. It's not only rare, but has been successful for many teams in recent history. Is he a point guard? No, let's stop before we even get started. Is he a point forward? Sort of, but not on the same level as, say, LeBron or Scottie Pippen. Jeremy Sochan is a lot of things, and I think it's fair to say all of which I will describe are essential archetypes that winning teams need. So let's have a little bit of fun. Since he's a lot of different things, I want to have some fun here. I'm a sucker for analogies, so we're going to compare him to 3 different animals. Might sound silly, but I'll try to make it make sense. So let's start with...
Better call a plumber. This pipe's all about to burst.
The wolf. So a lot of times when people think of a wolf, they think of something that's ferocious or scary, stay away from, a wild dog. But one thing that doesn't come to mind often is their intelligence and willingness to work together. They're known as some of the most cooperative animals in the world. No wolf ever puts themselves ahead of the pack. They work together in order to accomplish a similar goal. They form friendships, they care for one another, and are great communicators. They play around a lot, and I mean a lot. But when it's time to work, they are absolutely locked in. Wolves are socially complex and do a great job of working in groups. With that being said, this is exactly how I view Sochan. He doesn't stand out in the court like Devin Vassell or Wembanyama would, but he is a great communicator, connector, and amplifier for the talent around him. Now, don't get me wrong, he has a lot in his bag, but winning comes first. It always comes first. Since college, he has been willing to fit wherever his team needs him. Come off the bench for Baylor? Sure, coach. Start as a point guard? Sure, coach. You need me to be a better catch and shooter? Shoot my free throws with one hand and improve the motion? Sure, coach. It's simple, but important. Team always comes first. Sochan's passing ability also plays into this theme. He is highly intelligent for his species or position. At the size of 6'9", it's quite a rarity to have a player so willing and versatile in passing. His basketball IQ is exceptionally high, and this is often ignored when we start to be more concerned with how often Wemby gets a lob. Like I said before, he's no LeBron, but you'd be hard-pressed not to see comparisons to Draymond Green. Similar to Sochan, he doesn't stand out as well in the statistical category, but you'd be gravely mistaken to say he wasn't important to the dynasty in San Francisco. In other words, no matter what you need, Sochan is willing to adapt. Speaking of adapt,
Off my glasses again, I'll make you into a point guard.
the cuttlefish. Adaptability is the name of the game for this little guy. They respond quickly to their environment. Any change in sound, chemical, or sight and water, they have the capacity to adjust. Not only that, but their defense mechanisms are impressive as well, having the ability to eject a smoke screen, making it difficult for any size predator to see them. This is Jeremy Sochan. He has the adaptability to change his approach based on whatever the defense has given him, and the versatility to guard 1 through 4 on the defensive end, and sometimes, but only sometimes, guard a 5. Let's take a look at some of the players who had the misfortune of having to be guarded by Jeremy Sochan this past season. So let's start with the best player in the NBA, at least in my opinion, the best player in the NBA, Luka Doncic. He averaged 12 points on 51.3% from the field, which is not bad by any stretch of the imagination, but he had an abysmal 18.8% behind the arc. And I'm not the first to bring up LeBron James. He averaged 10 points on 43.8% from the field. DeMar DeRozan, a little bit better percentage, 9.6 points on 46.4% from the field. SGA, 7.3 points on 42.9% from the field. Anthony Edwards, 9.6 points on 39.1% from the field. Jalen Brunson, 7.5 points per game on 35.8% from the field. And the big man, Jaren Jackson Jr., 5.6 points on 38.1% from the field when guarded by Jeremy Sochan. Point guard, shooting guard, point forward, big man, doesn't matter. Sochan will make life difficult for you. His ability and willingness to adapt to any situation can't help but to remind you of other players who have been dangerous weapons for their teams. He has the tenacity of the likes of Draymond Green or Dennis Rodman, but the icing on the cake is he's quite more talented offensively than both of those two.
One is Draymond Green, and the other one is Dennis Rodman. Yeah. Can you tell us one thing that you think you look like them?
Yeah.
And one thing that it's really different between you and them?
Is I don't think we care what other people say, like think of us, their opinion. One different thing is, I think I'm more talented on the offensive side.
Shout out Draymond.
Yeah, they are great players, but I think I'm more talented than them.
All right, elephant in the room, and that's not the third analogy. Let's talk about the most controversial part of his game.
Shaving cream.
The kangaroo. Now, we've all seen videos of kangaroos ruining someone's day by just existing.
What's up, Skip? Hey, back off! Back off! Go away! Fucking kangaroos.
But people don't realize that kangaroos are generally quite peaceful, but if they see you as a threat, they will attack, and if they do, it's not good. Funny enough, the animals that they are most defensive against are dogs. Kangaroos hate dogs, mostly because they remind them of dingoes, but who cares about intent? I mean, Sochan doesn't. If you have some dog in you, he does not mind neutralizing those superpowers, as Kendrick Lamar or Bill would say. There have been countless examples of Sochan being relentless towards the opponent's toughest players. Whether it be pinching Steven Adams, a player who was voted second in a poll from peers on who they would least like to fight, or flipping Markieff Morris like a Japanese souffle pancake. I think you flipped those. Or getting under the skin of Luka Doncic. Or how about dunking on Sabonis, then tagging him in the post? And who could forget scoring on Dunn with the eagerness to fight him like a drunk in a pub? Or how about irritating Lakers fans and probably LeBron by asking the question that's on all of our minds: why does he flop so much? And the list goes on and on and on. Now, some might say that this is corny or insufferable, and I get it, especially if your team is on the receiving end of it. But he is a special type of breed. He's using psychological warfare without the need to be dirty, like sometimes Draymond Green, Zaza Pachulia definitely did, and even Chris Paul. And I know he's a Spur now, but Chris Paul was quite dirty at times. This type of player is important for the culture. They're important for swagger. They force your team, for better or for worse, to talk the talk and also walk the walk. In other words, it keeps your team accountable. And as my favorite rapper of all time, Eminem, once said, I don't really care who's in the right, but you're losing the fight you picked. And if you got that reference, just know that I love you. These guys are very important too, as the most winningest coach would say, bringing some nasty. So like I said before, I get it. I know that Sochan isn't everyone's cup of black tea. Yes, for some reason, I felt the need to research what type of tea Poles drink. And if he was on another team, maybe I would see him in a different light. I don't know if Sochan will become a superstar like Patrick Beverley seems to believe.
Every blue moon, like, you get a superstar out of nowhere, right? And I don't mean nowhere. I mean, like, people didn't think Kawhi Leonard was gonna be a superstar when he first came to the NBA. He gives me those vibes.
Whoa.
Yeah, he gives me elite player vibe.
Whoa.
Yeah, he's tough as shit. You can't punk him. He's a fucking sponge. His motor is so fucking high. Like, he got everything you ask for in a basketball player, and with size. So, like, sky's the limit for that kid. He can play off the block, small defenders, like, over time, over strength, over repetition. Spurs, you know, they cross every T, dot every I. He's in a really good position. I'm very excited to see how he looks.
Well, I don't know if Wemby will be enough to put Sochan in an all-star selection, but what I do know is Sochan is an important piece. In fact, he's the most misunderstood piece during the formation of this new Spurs team, the new Spurs era, and inevitably the new Spurs dynasty. Once again, I just want to say thank you guys so much for supporting this channel. I have gotten so many messages and so much love since the formation of this new channel. So I really do want to say I appreciate it and thank you for the love. Please share it with your friends, subscribe, like, do all that good stuff. Comment, that helps the algorithm. And if you like the videos, please subscribe. And if you don't, ironically, subscribe. I'll get with you guys later. Until next time, peace.